The Coo of Forfar. A long time ago, round about the 1600s, there was a woman who kept an alehouse in the town of Forfar. And every morning she would brew a fresh batch of ale and she would set it out on her doorstep to cool in a barrel. And then she would go about her day cleaning up the alehouse and cooking and all those other tasks. And there was one hot summer day that was no different from any other. She brewed up her big batch of ale, she set it on the doorstep of the alehouse, and she went inside to get on with the housework. But that day, it just so happened that her neighbour's cow had gotten loose from where it was tied up. And the cow was having a nice time wandering about the streets and seeing what she could see. But it being a warm day, the cow was thirsty. She saw this big barrel and thought, oh, that looks like a lovely, refreshing drink of water. And she went over and had a wee slurp of the ale. And she liked it. So she had another slurp, and another, and another, and another, until she'd drunk up the whole barrel. And then she staggered off into the streets to cause chaos. Now, the landlady, she came out and she found her day's ale empty. She was furious. And it was not hard to spot what had happened because there was this cow staggering around, crashing into washing lines, knocking over market stalls, and well, it was obvious what had become of her ale. And she stormed round to her neighbour's house. She said, your cow has drunk my beer and you're going to pay for it. And the neighbour said, shouldn't have left it lying about on the doorstep if you didn't want folk to drink it. I'm not taking any responsibility for this. And the two of them could not come to an agreement. And eventually the landlady was so furious that she got the matter brought to the sheriff court in Forfar. And the landlady and her neighbour went into court to face each other. The cow was unable to represent herself because she was sleeping it off at home. And the judge listened to both sides of the argument, and he was a bit stumped for what to do. It was such an unusual case. He'd never really heard anything like this before. But he was going back in his mind to all of the past cases and all of the laws about drinks and alehouses and thresholds that he could think of. And after a while, he said to the neighbour, now, tell me, my man, when your cow drank the ale, was she standing up? Was she standing? Come on, how else would a cow take a drink? Ah, well, said the judge, I'm afraid that settles it. If a drink is taken standing at an alehouse door, the ancient customs of Scots law say that it's a joch and doris, a drink taken in goodwill, and it would not be right to charge for it. Well, the landlady was not best pleased, but from that day on, the custom of the joch and doris, or the stirrup cup as it's sometimes called, was enshrined in Scots law. So now if you're leaving an alehouse or an establishment and someone tries to persuade you to just have one more for the road, you might hear the saying, be like the Coo of Forfar and take a standing drink.